News and information 570 AM.
96.3 FM HD2. KLIF Dallas. KSCS FM HD2 Fort Worth. KLIF.com.
A Cumulus station.
Now, from the 5th floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Dallas-Fort Worth. Welcome to Inside Real Estate. This is Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. If you want to call in and talk to us, it's 888-787-KLIF, 888-787-KLIF. We're going to be talking all things real estate, talking mortgage, insurance, a little title talk, little sports and entertainment, all those fun things that we always throw into the show. Welcome. Come on in. Stay a while. I hope you're all doing well out there. You know, as you're getting ready for church or getting ready to drive to church, we hope you make this a regular part of your Sunday morning, you know, listening to us here on Inside Real Estate Radio. And by the way, you can always catch all the past archive shows on InsideRealEstateRadio.com and also connect with us and all of our partners. So if you hear anything on the show that's exciting you and you want to hear more about that particular topic or story, you can always go to the website and get all the latest and greatest information right there. As always, in this show, we're going to be talking with J.C. Harder from J.C. Harder Goosehead Insurance Agency. We're going to do a little insurance talk, and we always learn great things from him. We're going to be talking to the folks over at Supreme Lending Rockwall to get all the latest and greatest in mortgage and refinance and some great information from those guys. And then we're going to throw in a little bit of mix of sports, entertainment. You know, we like to talk high school sports when we can because we feel high school sports really ties into the community. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, and as well as the latest and greatest in real estate, and just a few topics that I would like to talk about as well. Before we get going too far into it, I want to get a couple headlines in for you guys. You know, we always try to bring you the latest and greatest in real estate as far as commercial deals, residential deals, and industrial deals. And so I just want to bring a couple stories to light for you. Huge law firm, Vinson and Elkins. They're going to be moving their Dallas office over to the Union Dallas near Victory Park after completion of the new tower. They signed about an 80,000 square foot lease, square foot of space, or basically we're looking at the top 3 floors of that 22-story building that's going to be set up. New building is going to be up and done kind of in 2017, 2018, and so they're planning to move in probably in 2018. The building overall is probably going to be about 800,000 square feet. But if you're aware of this law firm, the huge firm, you know, Vinson and Elkins, well known, they're going to be taking about 3 floors, 80,000 square feet of that building. And they have about 145 attorneys and employees. So that's what they're looking to move over there. And so that was a pretty big story. Wanted to bring that to your attention. Over in Arlington, and actually this is kind of over in my backyard because you guys know, although I office out of uptown Dallas here, I also office out of Arlington where, you know, I live, and I like to live in Arlington just basically because it's centrally located and I can get to Fort Worth, Dallas, and everywhere really quickly, as well as get over to the airport. And the little shopping center over there, in fact, this shopping center, I go to the GNC over there regularly in there to pick up my protein powder. And this was picked up, Rock Street Partners acquired the Cooper Oaks Crossing neighborhood shopping center, about 86,000 square feet of space, and it was anchored by a Tom Thumb store, but of course Tom Thumb shuttered that store due to their merging into Safeway, the parent company, and Albertsons, which consolidated many of their locations. So that location in particular, is along with many Tom Thumb locations, were shuttered or consolidated, if you will. But great opportunity picking up this building because that Tom Thumb store is empty, and they're going to have a nice big space to find somebody else for a new anchor. So kind of big deal there. Very desirable spot. What else we got? One Source Virtual is beginning construction on new Cypress Waters campus. Irving-based business applications provider One Source Virtual has started construction on its new Dallas corporate campus at Cypress Waters, which is expected to house 1,300 or so employees in the next few years. Developer behind the $3.5 billion with a B, Bravo, 1,000-acre community Dallas-based Billingsley company began work on the new development. Now this is over there, 9001 Cypress Waters Boulevard, and have a 217,000 square foot office building there as well. So we're looking at construction starting in late 2016 and, moving into the next couple of years. So One Source Virtual, big news there. So that's kind of the latest in the headlines for now. I wanted to get into a real estate topic that we talk about, folks, all the time. And, we talk to people every day. And part of what we do is education when we're speaking to people, and that's why a lot of times I always say when you call me, do you have a few minutes? Because, talking about real estate, it does take a little while. We got to put our big boy and big girl pants on and, talk adult topics here. And, sometimes, we're not in the frame of mind to take that kind of information. So I always say, let's pick a time where you've got a few minutes to chat, and let's really get into it. Now we try to make it as streamlined and easy as possible, but at the same time we're talking, adult topics here. We're talking real estate. We're talking financials. So, we got to strap it on and really talk about it. So, but we get these calls all the time. And in particular from buyers, and maybe they're first-time buyers, and we love talking to first-time buyers. We love educating them, we love helping them. We love helping them become homeowners and realizing the American dream, which is to own a home and to hopefully own additional real estate to build their financial portfolio so that they can be more successful, be more stable in their finances for both themselves, and their family, if they're married and have a family and whatnot. So we love doing that. But unfortunately, from time to time, and honestly, probably once a day this happens, at least once a day, we're going to get a call from somebody and they literally just want to go and see a house, and they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about what they're doing, how they're going to do it, or anything like that. And look, I get it, maybe if you're busy and, you see a house that's absolutely, you got to see it. It's the dream house. We get that. But at the same time, we're not a locksmith. That is not what we do. We help folks buy and sell real estate, and with that comes great responsibility. We are the gatekeeper and the key master, if you will, for those of you old, folks that are going to remember that from the Ghostbusters movie. It was pretty funny. But anyway, yeah, we honestly are the gatekeeper and the key masters. And let's say let's put the shoe on the other foot. You're selling your house. Do you want us as real estate agents to just let anyone into your house and not even ask them, not even vet them, anything? Don't ask them a thing. Just some random person off the street. Hey, I want to go into that house. Okay, let's go into that house. No, you don't really want that. It doesn't work that way. So what we do as real estate professionals with our buyers is we, in a sense, we vet you. And here's the thing. Unfortunately, our industry and the homeowners, you are targeted to potentially be, honestly, a victim of some sort of criminal act. getting into your house is primary strategic thing for criminals to do. And it's a real easy way for them to get in there by, guess what? Impersonating a buyer and trying to get an agent who is unsuspecting or naive that just get them into the house, get one of those young agents, and we'll just talk to them and say, hey, we want to get into this house. We want to see it. And the agent just jumps on it. Sure, okay, no problem. We're going right away. They don't ask you your name. They don't ask you for anything. You could be an absolute serial killer and that we're just going to let into some house. But the agent doesn't even worry about that. They just get you in there. And that's not what we do, folks, and if you're listening and you're a seller or you have sold your home or you're thinking about selling in the future, this is really important for you to listen to as well, because we take care of you. We're listing your home for sale just like we would be listing our home for sale, which means we want to protect our family and we want to protect our belongings. And to do that, it means we have to talk to the buyers, the prospective buyers. They're going to walk through those homes and figure out at least who they are. We got to get a name. What is your situation? Are you relocating from out of state? Are you relocating from the area? Are you also selling a property? Are you in a lease right now? When is your lease up? How do you plan to purchase a property? Is it going to be cash? Are you financing? What type of financing? FHA, VA, conventional, et cetera, et cetera. And you may think as a buyer, oh man, this is a pain in the butt. I didn't really want to have to answer all of these questions right now. I just want to go and see this house. And if I like it, I might make an offer. Look, folks, we get that. And we're not trying to pressure you on the phone or anything like that. All we're trying to do is simply ascertain whether or not you are a legitimate, real prospective buyer or not, and that you are not of the criminal element that is potentially trying to get into a homeowner's home to scout it out, to potentially rob later, to potentially try to steal identity by picking up mail inside the house, or other nefarious acts, or crimes of mischief. So we're trying to protect the homeowner as well as ourselves, because often real estate agents, particularly female real estate agents, are targeted by criminals who would wish to do them harm. Not only female real estate agents, but male agents as well, being robbed, and the female agents, much worse. So these things happen, and we're trying to ascertain from you, the prospective buyer, are you a legitimate buyer? Are you part of that criminal element? Because honestly, a lot of people are. We go through this stuff for a reason. We're trying to protect ourselves, and we're trying to protect the homeowners whom we have a responsibility to only bring in legitimate prospective buyers into their home. And if you can't answer the simple question of what's your full name, then that's a red flag. If you can't answer simple questions as is, when your lease is up, if you're in a rental, or if you need to sell another property, if you can't answer some of these basic questions, then these are all red flags for us. And we have to say, okay, well, why don't you meet us at the office and we'll have a discussion further. We're not asking for serious, heavy-duty information like, you would type of information you're going to give to the mortgage loan officer. But general basic information, your name, full name, get some basic information from you. Email address, phone number, if you're selling another property, what that address is. These types of things, folks, because we want to just vet you. And as part of this process, when we're doing that, we're vetting you, but we're also getting information from you that's going to help us guide you and guide the process the right way. We're not asking you for personal information just for, out of the blue, just randomly. We're trying to help you and steer this process the right way to help you. And you have to just understand we have a great responsibility when we're letting people into homes. And so as a seller, you're thinking, wow, this is great. They're really looking out for us as a seller. And you as a prospective buyer, you need to be thinking great as well, because you're going to be a homeowner here sometime soon. Hopefully we're going to help you do that. And you're going to want us to protect your home the same way. You don't want to just let anybody into your house, because that could be someone who wants to do you harm or steal your identity or do all kinds of nefarious things. So we've got that in mind, okay, folks? So don't get too mad at us, you prospective buyers out there, when you feel like we're asking you some questions that are, maybe a little personal. We're not trying to do that to annoy you or to be difficult with you. We're just trying to be thorough, and I hope you understand that out there. So I wanted to talk to you about that because we get a lot of calls on it. And, well, why can't you just show me this home? Well, look, we can absolutely show you the home. In fact, I can probably just show you the home today. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you call me and want to see a home. If at all possible, I can probably show it to you the same day. Worst case scenario, the next day. Now, of course, that depends on your work schedule and your workflow. And, of course, it also depends on the workflow, the availability of the property. For example, if the property is vacant, it's easy to get into, no problem. We'll be over there, ASAP. If the property's occupied, and in particular if it's occupied by a family that has children and or dogs, and the dogs need to be crated, young children need to be, gathered up, and thrown into the car and their car seats, that's a little bit of a hassle for the homeowners. So they might need a full 24-hour notice. General rule of thumb is most homeowners are going to want 24-hour notice. If it's on the weekends, at least on the same day, at least you can get them an hour or 2-hour notice, because obviously most people view properties on the weekend. But 9 times out of 10, folks, you give me a call, want to see a house, more than likely we're going to see it the same day, worst case scenario the next day, if circumstances push it that far. Of course, depending on your work schedule. So that is not the issue. But if you can't answer those few questions, then maybe you've got something else in mind, and we just don't want to deal with that. We want to protect everybody. So, folks, hopefully you understand that. Hopefully that's been helpful to you prospective buyers out there. Because, look, you want to work with the best. You don't want to just work with one of those agents that's just like, oh, sure, let's go. And because if they're not thorough enough to ask you who you are, and talk to you about your process and what you're needing to do, then when it comes to negotiation and all of the other contractual obligations that you're going to get into, don't you want the best helping you with that? I think you do. So just remember that when you call in, that, we're going to talk a little bit, and you're going to give us your name, and I'm going to give you my name and all my information, so you're going to give me yours. Folks, hey, guess what? It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga, and we're going to be back in a few.
Millennium Title Carroll PC Real Estate is a unique multi-service real estate title, law, and real estate investment firm that handles over 150 commercial and residential closings each month. Their real estate, legal, and tax services range from purchases to refinances to short sales and reverse mortgages. They can handle all of your real estate, legal, and tax planning needs. Their experience offers clients and investors a comprehensive perspective in managing their real estate law and investment needs. Visit txtitleattorney.com, that's txtitleattorney.com, or call 817-310-0136.
With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today.
For housing lender, NMLS ID number 211731, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. You can always catch up with us there and all of our partners. In studio here, we've got Kevin Hamus, owner of Ideal Floors, and his phone number, by the way, this is his cell phone number, 214-789-0422, and website, IdealFloors.com. Kevin, how are we doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing excellent. I'm excited to talk some more home improvement and flooring and see what kind of good stuff you got for us today.
Well, I think today we're going to talk about, we at Ideal, we're really a value proposition store. We give high value in full service, which normally don't go together.
True.
And also talk about, the installation options that we have.
Okay. What and I know that's always a big question on people's minds, is because, people are all about, maybe doing some home improvement and getting some new flooring and that sort of thing, but then they're always worried about the hassle of the installation and all that. And I know you kind of make it a seamless process, make it kind of turnkey and easy for people. So I'm excited to hear about that, and I think people will be excited to hear about it as well, because I think that's always the big worry, is how much is it going to hassle me at home and in my life to get things done.
Yeah, and we also have, because we have 3.5 million square feet in stock, we have plenty of selections for everybody, for the do-it-yourselfers, but also, we have full-service installation available for those who, don't want to try to do it themselves. If you're a handyman, you might be able to do it yourself, but, majority of the people, it's, it's not that easy to do.
Right.
If you have some products, if you have a lot of common sense and you're a handyman, you can do them. But, we offer full service installation.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. With flooring, it's very obvious when a professional does it and when the home improver does it themselves. Because you walk into homes, we walk into homes all day, every day, folks, being in real estate. And so we see the jobs that are done. And if you've done it by yourself, we can tell, the ragged edges around the corners, around the baselines, all that type of thing. Avoid that and just get professional installation. I'm a home do-it-yourselfer as well, but I know my limits, and I would never attempt to really do flooring, just because when it comes to those spots that are not going to be in a straight line, which we all have homes that are not in a straight line, those are difficult to deal with.
Yeah, I had a lady I talked to yesterday who she pulled out all the carpet out of her living area and did stained concrete. So she needed to have transitions for where the carpet went to the stained concrete.
Right.
She hired somebody to do it, and they came in. They cut the carpet crooked. They put it about 2 inches past the door. So now you're in the hallway and you see the carpet, sticking out from underneath the door. And so, and it's if you want it to look right, it's best to get professional installation.
Exactly. Now, I have pulled out carpet before. That was fairly easy. I could pull it out, but putting it in or putting flooring in, I think that I'll pass on that. I don't have the patience to do it exactly the way it needs to be done.
Well, the one thing we do, actually, carpet installation, if we're doing the whole job, is it's a free. There's no charge for that. It's part of the installation process.
Right. Yeah, folks, you definitely want professional installation, so don't skimp out. Folks will go out and they'll buy, some amazing materials to install in their house and then try to do it themselves, and it looks shoddy. Well, what was the point in doing it to begin with? Just get the professional installation.
And we have our installation, we subcontract it out, but we also have we warranty all the installation work that they do. We've had guys who have worked for us for 15, 20 years and do excellent work, and and we pride ourselves in high customer service, that if anything ever goes wrong or doesn't go according to, we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. We'll come in and take care of it. So you have no worries to do that.
Right. Yeah. And, generally if you're buying products from a lot of these, big box, company retail outlets, then try to get a hold of them if something goes wrong. If you go to the store, the associate doesn't know anything, and try to get the manager to help you out at the store. Well, good luck figuring out who the manager is. Avoid maybe all that hassle altogether, if you're in need of flooring. Because guess what? Right here at Ideal Floors, you can talk to Kevin direct. Absolutely, and then he'll get you taken care of.
Well, and because we also have, millions of square feet in stock, we can get it done fast. A lot of times at your other flooring stores that don't stock, or your big box stores, it's all special order. So It's going to be 2 or 3 weeks out, before they can get it done. Sometimes we can get it done the next day with us. Once we get it measured and get all the paperwork signed, we can get it done next day or two. Almost always we can get it done within a week. So, we also have that option.
Yeah, so not only do we have lots of materials in stock and ready to go, so more than likely whatever a customer is looking at doing, whatever type of material they're looking for, you probably have it in stock, more than likely. Plus, it's going to be amazing prices because the way you do business, the way you acquire product, you're able to pass along those savings to the customer. And then installation, the next thing, well, first of all, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, which is huge, but going to be more than likely very quick installation and far and away quicker than most out there, big time.
Yes, it is. And also the standard installation in the industry is for 1 year. But for a nominal fee, we can offer a 2-year installation or a lifetime installation, on any products that we install.
And also that I know we've talked about those satisfaction guarantees before, but to do something that's lifetime and there's a small extra fee for that. I mean, most people, they don't want to give you anything for lifetime. That's for sure. Right.
Oh yeah. But if you do the installation correct, the very first time, it should, vast majority of the time, it's going to last years and years and years.
Right.
And also, like you were mentioning before, we have lots and lots of choices, for product selections, and we buy in bulk. We buy by the container load from overseas. We buy by the truckloads. We buy bankruptcy stock, overruns. We actually, month or two ago, we actually bought a bunch of very expensive Scabos travertine, which is an incredible product, but we bought it from a bill collector. He had to, the flooring company owed him money and they couldn't pay him, so they paid him in travertine. So he turned around, he had to do something with it, so he sold it to us. So we got an incredible deal on that we can pass on to people.
Right, exactly. And that's why I say when you guys do business in such a smart manner, those are the types of companies you want to do business with, because they're doing that so they can pass along savings, to you, the consumer. And so that's a huge benefit with doing business with Ideal Floors. Folks, idealfloors.com is the website. Kevin's number direct, 214-789-0422. Multiple locations throughout the DFW area. But also their sales folks can come to you direct. So if you had a particular type of flooring need, you were thinking about a particular type of project, and you've got a few different options you're already thinking about, well, they can go ahead and bring those types of samples out direct to you. So if you didn't want to go to the store, so just another way that they're servicing you.
Oh yeah, and that's just it. People are busy today, and to also be able to find time for the husband and wife to get out together to go shopping for stuff like this is difficult. So we have shop at home vans, and we have also just people bringing their cars out with samples, to come out to your house. When we talk to you on the phone, we'll just kind of qualify you, see what you're looking for, so we don't have to bring, everything out. We'll just, if you're looking for a certain type of carpet or certain type of tile, then we can bring those samples out for you.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Of course, nothing, will be the same as going to the store, because you might find something in the store that you never even thought about for that particular project. But if you do have a very narrow need and you know exactly what you want, take advantage of the mobile sales team that'll bring out those materials to you and go over that stuff with you. But of course, with multiple locations there in the area, you may find something that you never even thought of and find out that that's better for your particular project. Well, folks, it's been another great segment with Kevin Hamus, owner of Ideal Floors. Idealfloors.com is the website for all of your flooring needs, whether it's kitchens, whether it's living rooms, dens, studies, bedrooms, all of it. They've got you covered, even tile for the bathrooms and showers. Ideal Floors has you covered. Idealfloors.com is the website. Kevin's number, 214-789-0422. Folks, Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. We'll be back in a few.
Millennium Title Carroll PC Real Estate is a unique multi-service real estate title, law, and real estate investment firm that handles over 150 commercial and residential closings each month. Their real estate, legal, and tax services range from purchases to refinances to short sales and reverse mortgages. They can handle all of your real estate, legal, and tax planning needs. Their experience offers clients and investors a comprehensive perspective in managing their real estate law and investment needs. Visit txtitleattorney.com, that's txtitleattorney.com, or call 817-310-0136.
With With decades of experience, the Rocky Martin Supreme Lending Team will work to close your home loan in 30 days or less. With access to the most competitive interest rates, the most financing options, and the most access to down payment assistance programs, the Rocky Martin team won't be beating service to you for all your mortgage needs, including purchase and refinance. Trust RockyMartin.com and his team for their reliable and fast loan process. Go to RockyMartin.com or call 972-772-1866 today.
For housing lender, NMLS ID number 211731-6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas 75032.
The J.C. Harder Insurance Agency in Uptown Dallas has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the J.C. Harder Insurance Agency Network. For a quote today on all your insurance needs, stop by J.C.'s office on McKinney Avenue in Uptown Dallas. Call 214-643-6108 or visit jcharderagency.com. That's 214-643-6108 or jcharderagency.com.
Hey there, this is RJ Lane, sales manager at WBAP, KLIF, and ESPN. I have a unique opening for someone with a history of outside sales success, solid business development, and the drive to be the best. Email me at richard.lane@cumulus.com. That's richard.lane@cumulus.com. Or you can call me at 214-523-2780. 214-523-2780. Cumulus is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. It's time for another great mortgage segment with our folks over at Supreme Lending Rockwall. Website, RockyMartin.com, RockyMartin.com, Rocky with an IE. Phone number where they are standing by always for all of your mortgage and refinance needs is 866-607-5667. Back in studio, we've got Terry Wagner, and we're going to get into mortgage talk. Terry, how are we doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Mike, how about you?
I'm excellent.
Good.
So I think we're talking maybe a little escrow account, impound.
Right.
And maybe you can give us the lowdown and explain better to all of us out there what all that means and what we ought to be doing with it and what it does on a regular basis for us and all that stuff.
I will do it. I will certainly try. I know that impound escrow accounts, those are one and the same thing, but they confuse a lot of people. They don't understand what that is.
Sure.
So first, I would just want to tell everyone, an escrow account is needed when you purchase a home and you are putting less than 20% down on your purchase. If you are buying a home using conventional financing, putting 20% down, then you're not required to escrow your have an impound account. An impound account is a separate account set up at the mortgage company that holds your taxes and insurance, so that every month when you make your full monthly mortgage payment, a portion of that payment goes into your escrow account for your taxes and your insurance to be paid out of that account once a year when they become due.
Right.
Okay.
And
a lot of people don't understand that and how that's all set up, but it's a separate account at the mortgage company where they hold those funds for you.
True. And, just for terminology's sake, and somebody that hears the word impound, they're going to probably associate that with negatively, the probably only way they understand that word is, your car got impounded.
That's a good point,
and that's a bad thing. But we kind of use those words interchangeably.
Right.
But most people are going to know that as the escrow account.
Right.
And so if you hear impound, if you hear us use impound separately, it's the same thing. They're interchangeable, impound and escrow. So we'll try to stay with escrow because most people are aware of that.
Know what that is.
That word,
right. Right. So what we're escrowing are your taxes and your insurance and your mortgage insurance. Because again, if you don't put 20% down, you're going to have mortgage insurance. And we'll get into it on another show because if it's FHA, it's a little bit different. But
sure.
Just across the board, you're going to have mortgage insurance if you're not putting 20% down.
Right.
Your initial escrow account is set up when you purchase a home. You are paying a year in advance for your homeowner's insurance. So you're paying 12 full months. When you buy a house, part of your closing costs is they're collecting the next full year's homeowner's insurance. So you're covered for a year.
Right.
And then what we call prepaids and reserves are your escrow accounts set up for your taxes and insurance. So your insurance is paid a year in advance. Your taxes are paid at the end of each year. So we are setting up a cushion to get that account started of 3 months for the taxes and 3 months for the insurance. And all of that is collected at closing as part of your closing costs. And that sets up your escrow account.
Right.
Okay. Then at the end of every year, like you know, they pay out those taxes from that escrow account. So it saves the borrower, in my mind. I mean, that's the way I personally do it. I don't want one more thing to have to remember to pay.
Right.
I don't want to have to save all year long myself to pay those taxes. So it's in my mortgage account so that they just pay that for me. I don't have to worry about it getting paid on time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And the last thing you want to worry about is your property taxes at the end of the year. You've got at the end of the year, obviously we've got all those holidays and where we're spending money. And
right.
So the last thing we want to do is come up short at the end of the year, plus we have traveling and stuff like that. So honestly, an escrow account is a great thing to utilize, even if you don't have to. If you've put down more money, or let's say you've built up a lot of equity in your property and you've decided to get rid of your escrow account because you want to manage your money on your own, and that's fine. People can do that, if they're in that situation. But last thing you want to do is come up short at the end of the year because, hey, you don't want the county knocking on your door. They do have foreclosure ability.
Absolutely.
And the last thing you do want is, someone to pick up your property on the auction block for pennies on the dollar.
Right. Just because all you owed was the taxes.
Just because all you owed was a few $1,000s in property taxes.
Right.
Now, of course, if you have a mortgage on your property, that goes into a separate situation. If you did get into trouble, we can talk about that in a total another episode. Absolutely, because there is situations where if you have mortgage on your property and then you get short on your taxes for some reason, the lender does have to step in. That's a different topic, different show. But utilize that escrow account because it's just going to protect you, really.
Right. And one thing that I did want to talk about is those folks, maybe we're talking to people that aren't looking to purchase a house. They just have an escrow account. What happens to that once a year is an escrow analysis. So the mortgage company that holds your mortgage is going to take a look at your escrow account, usually once a year, and determine what that cushion is in there. They're going to determine, did your taxes go up or down? Did your homeowner's insurance go up or down? And then they will make those adjustments. So if you get a statement in January that says your payment is going up by $10 a month, it's most likely because you had an escrow shortage, your taxes went up a little bit, or your homeowner's insurance went up a little bit. So they're going to collect a little bit more every month to fix that shortage.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to kind of define, your mortgage payment real quick, just to remind everybody, you got your principal and interest, and the interest is set. Generally, most people are going to have a locked-in rate. If they've got a 30-year fixed, 20-year fixed, 15-year fixed, whatever that case may be. But if you've got a fixed interest rate, that portion of the mortgage payment is not going to change.
Correct.
What can flux is your escrows, which are, like we said, the property insurance, or did your taxes go up? Did your homeowner's insurance rates go up a little bit? That's in there. And then, of course, the mortgage insurance, like we talked about, is in there. So that part of it can go up. So people wonder, hey, why did my mortgage payment go up? Well, it's more than likely due to your escrows, because if you're locked in at a fixed rate, that can't go up.
Right. And a mortgage company cannot hold more than a set amount as a cushion. So you may just one day get a check from your mortgage company because you had too much money in your escrow account over and above that cushion amount.
Right.
So that would be the case for that as well.
Yeah, and usually, especially after the first year or first 2 years after everything's kind of settled in,
right, that's
usually when you're going to get that potential windfall there.
Right. Because
and then it'll start to line up,
right,
moving forward pretty darn close.
Right. More so, like you said, more so at the beginning of your mortgage, because when you purchase a home, the tax or the title company that is getting our tax certificates for us and figuring out what we need to use for the tax base in order to set that escrow account up, they're having to use, in some cases, last year's taxes. So if last year's taxes were higher, then your escrow account has too much money in it.
Right.
So sometimes that information is a little outdated, but that's all they have available to use at the time.
Right. And if they based the taxes on the previous owner who did not have any exemptions.
Correct.
And if you as the new owner are walking into that house and you're going to have new exemptions. So, for example, if you're a senior and you're going to have that senior exemption that's going to apply moving forward, or if you're a veteran, disabled veteran, those are huge discounts that moving forward will absolutely impact your escrow account in a positive way, so that you could, if you're paying on that previous owner who had very limited discounts at all, maybe only homestead, maybe they didn't even have the homestead because this may have been their second home,
right? You're
going to have some serious money potentially coming back to you in escrow overage. Correct.
Do not forget to apply for those exemptions as they apply. Over 65, like you were mentioning, all the others. There are several discounts that come with those exemptions, so make sure that you apply for those.
Well, they could be huge deductions. Your senior deduction and then your disabled vet deduction, which a lot of people don't know about that one, but that gives you a huge amount back.
Well, and just to touch on that real quick, we've talked about VAs before, but if you are a veteran and you're using your VA eligibility to buy a house and you are a disabled vet, be sure and tell your mortgage loan officer that, because number one, there's lots of advantages to that. But the biggest is that we can set up those escrow accounts from the time you purchase the house. A lot of mortgage companies won't do that for you, so certainly call Supreme Lending. We can help you with that. But we can set up the escrow accounts correctly from the beginning with that VA exemption applied, even if the previous homeowner doesn't have that same exemption.
Right.
So just to kind of clarify a little bit, if you're moving into a home, if you're purchasing a home and the seller doesn't have a homestead exemption, some lenders they're going to make you use their taxes.
Right.
Whatever they were paying.
True.
Even if you're going to be the primary resident at this property and it is going to be your homestead, they might not let you use that exemption. We will set that up for you correctly from the beginning.
Yeah, and we see that all the time, and so that's just a great benefit with you guys is that you're able to do that because not coming out of pocket with all those extra prepay dollars is pretty huge.
Right. We recognize that's a true benefit to our customers.
Yeah, it's a huge benefit. The less that you have to come to closing with, the better. And, you're already having to put down that first year of homeowners insurance. And by the way, if you didn't work with us on your recent transaction, myself with Terry, Angela from the Supreme Lending Rockwall team, and you didn't work with JC as part of our insurance team,
shame on you.
Shame on you, number one. That's right. But number two, just because you paid for that full year of insurance up front doesn't mean you can't get with us and JC to potentially see where you're at.
That's correct.
Because, just because you paid for that full year up front doesn't mean we can't move that over. If JC can get you a better deal, better policy, just food for thought on that there, folks.
All right. I think that's all I have on escrow accounts, unless you have something else to add, Mike.
No, I think we've got quite a bit for this segment. That's good, but there's so much more we can probably talk about, and we'll kind of carry that over into other segments. So, but that will do it, I think, for today. Folks, it's been another great segment with Terry Wagner of Supreme Lending Rockwall. Website, RockyMartin.com. Rocky with an IE. RockyMartin.com is the website. 866-607-5667 for all your mortgage and refinance needs. Folks, it's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. We'll be back in a few.
Sellers, how would you like your home sold guaranteed? Buyers, how would you like your bid guaranteed to win? Well, it's real simple. Call Mike Kruizinga with Chris Arnold Premier Realty and ask about their guarantee programs for both buyers and sellers. No one beats Mike's professional listing and marketing services for all price ranges, including luxuries and ranches. And few have the knowledge and patience to take first-time buyers from renting to home ownership in a tough market. Visit DFWMetroplexRealestate.com and mention you heard this on the radio, and listen to Mike Sundays 8 a.m. on KLIF for Inside Real Estate.
Paying off credit cards can get expensive, and it can be an endless hassle to get a loan at a bank, which is why there is now another way to get the money you need at a competitive fixed interest rate without the hassles, fees, and risks. It's called Avant. Your loan through Avant can be approved in minutes, and money can be in your account in as little as one business day. And unlike peer lending sites, there are no costly origination fees for unsecured loans or waiting up to a week for the funds. So if you need a small or a substantial loan, go to Avant.com to check your interest rate. We think you're going to like what you see. Right now, Avant will also give you a $50 Amazon.com gift card after your first installment is made on time. To check your rates with no effect on your FICO score and get this special offer, go to Avant.com today and enter promo code 8686 at checkout. That's www.avant.com, promo code 8686. Loans are made by WebBank and affiliates of Avant, Inc. Funds are deposited for delivery next business day if approved by 4:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. FICO is a registered trademark of Fair Isaac Corporation. Amazon is not a sponsor of this promotion. Other restrictions apply. See website for details.
Hey, folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Website, InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Time for another insurance segment with J.C. Harder. J.C., welcome back. How are we doing today?
Doing great. How you doing, Mike?
I'm excellent. And by the way, folks, for all your insurance needs, you can hit these guys up, 214-643-6108. Website, jcharderagency.com, jcharderagency.com. JC, I know we're going to get back into kind of this rolling segment we've been doing for quite a few weeks now because you work with so many different providers out there and you're able to shop so many of them for the best rates, the best policies for your clients out there. And who are we going to talk about today?
Okay, Mike, today we're going to keep going on with the, like the last couple of weeks, we've talked about more of the regional carrier that you might not see on TV doing the big time advertisements, but at the same time, of course, they're A-rated. Again, mention that every week. So, at the end of the day, if a claim does happen, they have more than enough money to pay out for you. Again, as far as them being regional, they're really basically only riding in the coastal states. So, Florida to Texas, all along the coast there. Where, again, a lot of companies back away from those areas. UPC, or United Property and Casualty, said, let's go after that business. Now, they are a little strict on what they're looking for, but the reason why is because they write the upgrade type of policy, and, they want to, they're good on their premiums as long as you fit their little niche.
Okay.
I already mentioned, the financial stability there, and I just mentioned as far as writing the upgrade type of policy. Again, in English, that's the HO3, that's the all risk or the open peril policy. They're one of the only companies in the state that write the DP3 as well. So what that is that's the open peril policy for the landlord or the rental type policy. So a lot of companies do rentals, but they do it on a basic or a DP1 type policy, where UPC does, they only offer the upgrade for the landlords as well too.
Okay. So if you are an investor, you do have rental properties, this is probably the provider that may match up best for that particular type of client.
Yes, just at the end of the day, they're going to cover you for more things in case something happens.
Okay.
Probably the most unique out of the past 3 or 4 weeks of these 3 or 4 companies I've talked about, they've all been the all risk, but this is the only one out of all 4 of them that will give you all 4 water coverages in Texas. So we've talked a lot about sudden and accidental. So that's basically your plumbing, your pipes bursting, freezing, cracking, anything like that, water heaters. We've talked a lot about foundation coverage, or slab leaks. The other one's water backing up, which is toilets overflowing or sewage against its normal flow. This last coverage I'm about to mention is the one that hardly anybody offers in the state, which is called seepage or slow leakage. So what that means is, instead of the insurance company saying you better find that leak in 14 or 15 days, they cover that leak, anytime they find it throughout the year.
And that is pretty important because, I think we've talked about this before, but, as far as water is concerned, water generally is going to be one of the major factors as far as an insurance claim goes. So if you're going to have something happen at your home, chances are it's probably going to involve water. It just is. But not all water events are catastrophic. Sometimes they are that slow type of leak, that whatever it is, whether it's the water heater, or whatever it is, it's just sort of slowly starting to break down, and it just doesn't go kaboom. It just kind of goes kaboom over time. And so that's really important because that can cause that unseen damages behind the walls, behind flooring, things that you're not seeing until eventually it comes to the surface. But guess what? Behind the walls, it's created a whole kind of major issue, major damage.
Yeah, and that seepage or slow leakage coverage, just to kind of echo that a little bit, is, what's really nice is I believe it's just under $100 a year. So you're talking about under $8 a month in your payment to add that coverage. So some people think like, oh, that's got to be expensive. It's got all this coverage, but it's really price competitive too. And then at the end of the day, you call it the sleep well at night policy, because you don't have to be worrying about your plumbing when you find that leak. You have all your water coverages, covered at that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And folks, you may be sitting there thinking, oh, big deal about the water heater, and because your water heater's in your garage, and maybe that's not going to do, a lot of damage. But a lot of homes have water heaters, at least one, if not more than one, especially if it's a larger property, inside the home. So we're talking flooring damage there. If the water heater is located in the attic, which many are now. I mean, there's a lot of homes that I'm seeing now, and they've got 2 water heaters in the attic upstairs. Not only is that going to cause damage to the ceiling and go through there, but of course issues up in the attic. So that, folks, water heater is not the only thing to worry about. Bathtubs, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Now, like a lot of these carriers I've mentioned here, they're not writing auto insurance in Texas, but they still give you that bundle discount. So no matter who we find your auto competitive with, they'll still, give you the discount on that home side there. If it's a new build within 3 years, they're giving big discounts. If it's an accredited builder, so all your D.R. Horton and so on and so forth, your big neighborhoods like that, you get an extra discount if it is an accredited builder.
Okay.
Along with a new purchase discount as well too.
Well, that's a pretty big score right there. So not only are they going to give you a discount for the fact that it's a new build, but they're also going to give you a discount if it's one of those huge builders. And most people are going to buy from one of the large accredited builders anyway.
Right. The last little piece on UPC is for all of your investor and landlord needs, you can write this policy in the name of an LLC, where most companies will not allow that. So just another benefit to UPC.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a great benefit right there, being able to write the policy under LLC if you're an investor. So look, guys, I mean, if you're listening out there and you're thinking, okay, United Property and Casualty, and if you want to take away some benefits here, one of the huge benefits is for the investor. They will write policies in an LLC, and they're also going to have the additional benefits for you, the higher end benefits for you as an investor, as owning property and being that landlord. So great benefits there. So if you are an investor out there, if you're a landlord, if you have at least one property or multiple properties out there, and you're a little bit worried about that property and how you're covered. And look, I know a lot of times investors out there, you just buy an investment property and you've had it, nothing's happened, no issues, and you're good to go. Well, you've been lucky. You might want to go ahead and call in. Now's a great time to call in, talk to JC, talk to Patty, and see if your landlord policy is the best one for you and your situation. Folks, we've been talking with J.C. Harder from the J.C. Harder Goosehead Insurance Agency. Phone number 214-643-6108. Website jcharderagency.com, jcharderagency.com. Folks, it's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. We'll be back in a second. Neither the hosts nor the guests or contributors of the show Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga are attorneys, CPAs, tax advisors, or investment advisors, and are not providing legal advice during the course of the show. If you need professional legal advice or services in any of those categories, please seek the appropriate professional. The host is a licensed real estate agent in Texas with the Chris Arnold Premier Realty Brokerage, a fair housing broker and member of the MLS. Texas real estate agents are prohibited from providing legal advice.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What?
No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up.
See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
News and information 570 AM.
96.3 FM HD2. KLIF Dallas. KSCS FM HD2 Fort Worth. KLIF.com.
A Cumulus station.